Greetings, everyone. A while back, M.A. Larson, who was one of the writers for the MLP Friendship is Magic series, revealed a number of intriguing episode ideas during a Q&A session. Whilst these stories had been scrapped during the writing process, there was one idea about the Apple family's mother which did pique my curiosity, and I wanted to give my thoughts on the subject. Mother Country. When Twilight Sparkle's mother comes to Ponyville for a visit, Apple Bloom starts acting up. Applejack finally gets to the bottom of it and discovers that Apple Bloom wants to know what happened to her own mother. Applejack, realizing her little sister is growing up and deserves to know, explains the sad story of her mother, Honeycrisp. When Applejack was just a filly, Honeycrisp went into the Everfree Forest to try to find some new breed of apples that would help the struggling farm take off. No matter what they did, certain trees just wouldn't grow. While there, she rescued a magical creature called a satyr, who gave her a wish. Honeycrisp, hoping to make a better life for her family, wished that anything she touched would grow. The satyr granted her wish, and she returned to Sweet Apple Acres with this newfound ability. At first, everything was perfect. The dead trees sprung to life and the orchard flourished. But Honeycrisp soon realized the mistake she had made with her wish when she gave her son Big Macintosh a hug. Her little colt suddenly had a growth spurt, which is why he's so big now. Tortured by the fact that she couldn't touch anything without it growing, Honeycrisp knew that her only option was to leave Sweet Apple Acres and to trust Granny Smith to raise her children. Apple Bloom says she wants to see her mother, so the two girls set off into the Everfree Forest to find her, and to try to find the satyr who can reverse the curse. Now, I for one believe wholeheartedly that The Perfect Pair is a true gem of an episode in MLP G4, and absolutely made for a better story and characters. I can certainly understand why this mother country idea had been scrapped, as it doesn't have near the same level of quality for both characters and their motivations. But it is interesting to think about how things could have been. For example, introducing a satyr who can grant wishes has some potential. The summary here doesn't mention whether Applejack and Apple Bloom's search in the Everfree Forest had succeeded after all. And the thought of this satyr giving a sort of Midas touch to desperate ponies begging for an answer to a seemingly hopeless situation, given a solution which demands unforeseen sacrifices. A lot of really good lessons you could teach with such stories. And this Honeycrisp character, who was to fill the role of the Apple family's mother, staying away from her family as she's tortured by the fact that she can't touch anything without it growing. Whilst Apple Bloom could easily think her mother had abandoned her, I could also see a potential lesson about those who feel that getting close to others would only harm instead of help, shunning away from the world as they only see themselves as a burden. Or I could also see potential with Honeycrisp secretly visiting the farm at night, helping the orchards to grow, then retreating back into the Everfree Forest to live alone. Might have also explained why certain parts of said forest are so dark and wild, as the plants are overgrown beyond comprehension to pony kind. Or perhaps even this satyr character being the one to convince Honeycrisp that she's too dangerous to be around any pony ever again, and that he's the only one who could ever lift the curse, so she'd better see to his every whim. To be honest, some of these ideas are perhaps a little too dark and tragic for a series like Friendship is Magic. That's not to say that MLP never touched on dark subject matter, but a story like Mother Country might have been too hard a sell for fans. Whilst Honeycrisp's intentions for staying away are pure, it does beg the question as to why Apple Bloom or even Applejack hadn't even attempted to find their mother before now. And like I said before, The Perfect Pair is such a beautiful story about the Apple parents, which left far fewer questions or complaints from the audience. But looking at what might have been, it's still a fascinating dive into MLP's history. What do each of you think, though? If this story really had been made into an episode, how would you have reacted to it? What would you have changed about the setup? What other possibilities could it have led to in the wider MLP world and lore? Leave your thoughts in the comments below, because as always, I am Dr. Wolf, and I look forward to hearing from you.